Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
I was church yesterday.
Well, cool. We do our work.
You know my next line. I won't go there.
As lay readers, don't worry. I pay tithe. I don't eat tithe. I'm not entitled
you know exactly
to
where it's going.
You have an idea.
I know where you want to go. I pay tithe. I don't eat tithe. I'm not a full-time pastor. I get my salary here. Now, let's go to...
My elder, by the special grace of God, you're doing well.
Yes, thank you, my brother. Now, let's start the review.
You have not greeted the Tundun Victoria.
Why are you distracting me, Ruben? Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, my elder.
Beautiful Victoria Tundun MKO Aviola.
Good morning, Mr. Fedi. Thank you.
Yes. Let's start with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story. For alleged sympathy for terrorists, PDP urges Buhari to remove Pantami. Yes, Dr. Issa Pantami has been trending for his views. Ruben, the evil that men do, live with them. If gloating over the death or wishing the death of people, you have persons, humans, you have tagged as infidels, is not evil. Tell me what is evil. So the evil that men do lives with them. It doesn't matter how long ago you made such pronouncements. I think now that we all know the needful should be done, especially that this country has been under the sledge of terrorists who have been slaughtering Nigerians irrespective of their religion. And we have a minister who once gloated or wished that those he called, or he and his brand of religionists called infidels, should die, should be killed. I think Issa Pantami, I will join those who say he should resign. And if I were the president, I will ask him to step aside, because the main battle this government is fighting, the main reason why many are saying the president has failed, is because of the insecurity he has been unable to bring under control. The Northeast, where these terrorists, religion is not the problem. The problem is religious extremists. And Issa Pantami once paraded himself as such. At what point he changed or turned a new leaf, Nigerians are not aware. But you wonder, Ruben, what kind of scrutiny goes on by the DSS and other bodies when persons are nominated as ministers. We hear a lot of scrutiny by the security agencies take place. How come they miss this? This did not feature on their radar when they were screening Issa Pantami as minister. But my view is that President Buhari should ease him out if he doesn't resign on his own, especially since he's occupying a position where he's entrusted with sensitive information about Nigeria and Nigerians. Now, if we look at Daily Trust newspaper, of course, terrorism financing, Daily Trust newspaper, dozens arrested in nationwide crackdown. Bureau de change operators, gold dealers, others netted. Billions trapped, more businessmen marked for arrest. Military personnel affected. Unions call for speedy investigation. You see why we have this, what we have on our hands, until we fish out and deal with those who collaborate, sponsor, and back these terrorists. We will not be making real progress. The other day, sponsors, financiers of Boko Haram were arrested, tried, and jailed in the United Arab Emirates. We seem to have woken up here in Nigeria, and those who finance terrorism are being hunted by the security agencies. That is the way to go. The Punch newspaper, yes, the Obaseki expose. Experts for CBN governor. Nigeria Economic Summit Group says 60 billion naira printing not sustainable. Of course, other newspapers are also feasting on this story. The Vanguard newspaper, alleged printing of 60 billion naira, APC PDP governors at war over Obaseki's claims. Obaseki is wrong, APC governor insists, says his accusation unfortunate, urged CBN's Emefiele not to be distracted. Leave Obaseki alone. PDP governors warn federal government, APC governors. His claims can't be spurious, says Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. Of course, the New Telegraph newspaper, the same story, Obaseki 60 billion currency printing expose. Governors' parties at war. While the News Direct newspaper is reporting that federal government generates 1.64 trillion naira from oil, non-oil sectors in 2 months. CBN records 485.51 billion naira fiscal deficit. Asks banks orders to borrow 492.50 billion naira. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, crude oil prices recovery not enough to ease forex woes. Different exchange rates still weigh down on forex market. Rates unification key to calm market. APCON president. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, hurdles for air travelers as nations OK vaccine passport. Subtle discrimination awaits global travel. Tourism in two-tier world. Experts divided over policy rally for improved vaccination locally. FAN, Airpeace vaccinate staffers, frontline workers. The Daily Times of Nigeria, Asman accident incident exposed lapses in aviation sector. While the Daily Sun newspaper, bloody day, 18-seater bus plunges into river in Ondo. Scores fear dead as fuel tanker explodes in Benue. Gunmen kill one as police kill 6 bandits, injure many in Niger. Below the photograph, the front page of the Daily Sun, 2023 presidency, Southeast getting support from North, South. Ezife, yes, support is coming for the clamor for presidency to rotate to the Southeast. Of course, the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo will be on the program much later, and I'm sure that will be part of the issues he will tackle. Now, Abuja Inquirer, the Abuja Inquirer newspaper, Abuja motorists in for a tough ride. Lawyers ask for reps amendment. This is extortion. Well, the FCT is reintroducing the controversial pay and park and pay policy. It suspended some 6 years ago, and of course, some residents of Abuja are already kicking. But of course, in major cities of the world, people park and pay in certain areas. Abuja is a modern city. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's also a good way to generate revenue by the Federal Capital Territory. And we'll move on to the foreign newspapers quickly. Daily Mail newspaper, loneliest birthday. Without Phillips, for the first time in 7 decades, Queen to mark her 95th birthday on Wednesday with a tiny coterie and won't release new portrait. She's still in a period of royal mourning for her beloved husband Philip, who was buried on Saturday. Of course, Daily Express newspaper, royals rally round brave Queen. While the Telegraph newspaper, the Daily Telegraph newspaper of UK, Prime Minister takes on football giants over new Super League plan. Johnson joins chorus of criticism after England's Big Six reveal intent to join the rebel European competition. Well, I think England should be happy because 6 of these teams proposing this Super League are from England. But again, what will it do for the rest of football? That is why a lot of persons are worried that, yes, why these big football clubs, including Real Madrid, the club I support, want to make more money. But I think we also have to think of the development of football, the listers of this world, where our own Kelechi Iheanacho plays for, should have a say in football. They should have the opportunity to play with the big boys from time to time. So I'm not sure I have 100 support for that move.
Well,
Ruben Rufai,
we have the Champions League already, and the argument of the Premier League and UEFA is that if the European Super League is allowed to go forward, then of course, you know, the Champions League will be affected, and competition merit will be sacrificed at the altar of an attempt to rake in more revenue. However, the whole point is that with COVID, many of these football clubs, you know, they suffered, they lost revenue with the fans no longer coming to the stadium, advertising revenue lost, and the 6 UK teams that you are referring to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Tottenham, right? But how about, you know, the FIFA position that any player that joins that European Super League will not be allowed to play for his or her national team, because they are even threatening that they will also start a women championship, midweek competition. That is that about that. Who will blink first? That's the question you should ask. You should answer. If you have an opinion,
they will find a compromise. They find a middle ground somewhere along the line.
Yes, they're supposed to meet, but you know, even UEFA is proposing a Swiss model option this morning that is supposed to be submitted to the European, Football Association. We'll see how that goes. As for Issa Pantami, I don't know whether he will resign. I made a point earlier on that in Nigeria, you know, people hardly resign except you catch them by the wrist. And I think in this particular case, Issa Pantami's biggest defense is that, one, he is a changed person. How do we determine that? And, you know, the point should also be made that this is a case of the past catching up with you. Maybe there are lessons in that regard that all of us can learn, that whatever you do at this moment can catch up with you in about 15, 20 years' time.
The evil that men do live with them.
And in the age of social media, everything is documented. You can be embarrassed on the basis of something you did 15 years ago. But the onus is on President Buhari, as I said earlier, to determine whether Pantami is an asset or a liability. And the PDP is right in asking for an investigation, a thorough investigation, so that a man is not turned adrift, either on the basis of suspicion or, emotions.
For me, I think we should ask very strong questions about the screening process, ministerial screening process. I have never liked the fact that you just here take a bow and go. I have never liked the fact that you don't put a portfolio they are going to be in forward while they screen them, so they can ask them questions based on the portfolio they're going to handle.
To the portfolio.
Very specific. I don't like that fact. And it's quite iffy for me. And it's a joke. It's a charade what we do what they do in the Senate, where they do ministerial screening. So I wonder when they say DSS and other people screen ministers, and they never picks this up, and security agents never pick this up at some point, and they raise the red flag, and nobody in the Senate ever asked even questions about this in the ministerial screening.